So in the early 2000s, mental health call loads started to become more prevalent. So in response to these increasing call loads, the Lakeville Police Department decided that we should probably get in front of the issue. We sent a bunch of officers to CIT training, which stands for Crisis Intervention Training. That is a week-long class where the officers go up and they're trained by a group of psychologists and doctors, and we learn more about what mental health is, what the different types of diseases that people suffer from, and how those diseases manifest themselves in different ways. The last couple days of the class was all scenario-based with actors. I got to talk with some people that were inpatient on their experiences with police and what would have helped them come out differently than the way it was. Back prior to CIT training, a lot of these situations ended up going hands-on, where we were fighting with people and trying to get them on a medical bed, and it was just not productive for either side. So it was almost a paradigm shift in the way the police responded to these calls. Prior to it, you were in there for 10 minutes, you'd give them a verbal command, and if they didn't follow it, it was hands-on. That changed to a 45-minute to a 2-hour call, where you are diffusing the situation through talking to them, trying to get to know them as quickly as possible, relate to them, and the end goal was to get them to walk to the ambulance on their own and kind of develop that relationship with them as fast as possible. That changed over the next couple, I'd say probably 5 to 10 years. We started to interject follow-up visits to these houses with CIT officers. So you'd have an officer there the first time when the person is on code red and very on high with whatever problem they have, and then we try to get back to them a week later or 2 weeks later when they weren't experiencing that, to just develop that relationship with them so that we became a familiar face to these people. So when we responded, they had that background with that officer, they could relate to them, and it wasn't somebody new, there was trust developed. From there, I'd say within the last probably 5 years, we introduced a different addition or layer to the program. I reached out to Life Development Resources, which is a mental health clinic in Lakeville here, and I believe they have about 60 licensed social workers, counselors, and psychologists in their building. And we asked them if they would be willing to assist us with our mental health program. They agreed to it, and what we came up with was kind of a combination of the two responses to try to make our responses as effective as we could. So the way it sits today is we respond to a mental health call. We still do the talking to them, build up relationships, and we still do the follow-up, but now these follow-ups include a licensed psychologist or a licensed counselor that comes with them, where they can field diagnose these people and actually lead them in the right direction for help, because there's a difference between a schizophrenic and somebody who suffers from bipolar disorder and somebody who's got anxiety. You don't go to your common doctor for a broken arm, you go to your doctor for a cold issue. It's the same thing with mental health. What I like about it is we're actually giving people direction and actual concrete things they can follow up with, versus in the past where it was more of a Band-Aid. Now we're actually developing those relationships more. We're involving professionals who can actually address the issue more so than police can. So we're bringing in stakeholders that know what they're doing to deal with a problem that they know a lot more than police know about.